Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the What's Next on Luis Nery, the former two-division world champion, following his second pro loss as he challenged for the Undisputed Super Bantamweight Championship of the World against the monster Naoya Inoue. Scored a first-round knockdown, but suffered a sixth-round knockout loss and a failed attempt to become the Undisputed Champ. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So, this fight was, Luis Nery, in my opinion, overachieved. He did great, you know? I mean, that first knockdown wasn't a lucky punch. It was a well-timed punch. Luis Nery has that kind of skill set. He's a very good fighter. But Naoya Inoue is not just a great fighter, he's a special fighter. And, you know, he turned it into another gear, and he went after Luis Nery and broke him down and knocked him out. You know, it's just as simple as that. But there's no shame at all in Nery, and he shouldn't feel any kind of, you know, of course a loss always hurts, but he definitely overachieved. And in my opinion, that might have been the best performance against Inoue. It actually was, because he scored the knockdown. It might have been the best performance against Inoue, other than the first fight that Inoue had with Nonito Donaire. And Nonito Donaire is a Hall of Famer. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's an all-time great fighter, and he took Inoue to the distance in that first fight, and a great one. So the fact that Nery was able to hand Inoue his first pro knockdown was impressive, and, you know, Luis Nery doesn't have anything to hang his head about. But now the big question is what's next for the former two-division champ? And that's interesting. That's a good question. I'm not even going to get into anybody in the top 15, because after a brutal knockout loss like that, and because it's not a star-studded division, because Luis Nery is not a huge star-studded name, I really believe, you know, at his age right now, if he does come back, his next fight will 100% be a tune-up guy that we don't discuss in this video. I would be very surprised if Luis Nery comes back in his next fight and is in an eliminator, or fights a top-tier fighter. You know, you have to put things in perspective. Last year, he was in a brutal fucking war with Azat Hovhannissian, who was the most avoided man in the division at 122 for a few years. Then he earns, in a fight of the year candidate, knocked out Hovhannissian in the 11th, but really spent himself in that fight. He earned a title shot and got it against Inoue, and gets brutally knocked out. I mean, he got hit fucking hard. So I don't see him bouncing back from that. He probably made a shitload of money though for the fight. So right now, after suffering a second loss in, 3 years' time, only the second of his career, over 30, Nery's been a solid name in boxing for the better part of the last decade, to be honest. I just don't think there's any rush to come back and jump right back into the mix, especially in a division at 122 that is going to be turning over. Naoya Inoue might only have one, maybe two more fights at 122, 3 at the most, but I don't even think it's going to be that much. And then he's moving to 126, so all those titles are going to go vacant. So what should he do? Nery, I wouldn't be surprised if retirement is on the table. Maybe it should be. Me personally, because he competes at a high level and he's very good, I think he should make one last run. Now, do I think he should move to 126? I don't think so. Because why? Because Inoue's going up there. And he he has never been a huge fighter at 122, but he's effective. But and both the guys that he's lost to and been knocked out against are at 120. You know, Inoue will be there, and Inoue will be there, and fucking what's his name is already there, Brandon Figueroa. So I think that would be a mistake for him to move to 126 at some point. I think 122 is going to be wide open. There's going to be some good fights there. Maybe at some point he can rematch Hovhannissian, because the first fight was so good. Or like I said, see what happens when the smoke clears. Maybe he'll be in line for a title shot. Maybe he can make himself the mandatory right away for one of the 4 belts and go after a title sometime next year. But I absolutely think he should take the rest of the year off, you know, soak in the loss, soak in, you know, the moment, soak in everything he's accomplished, evaluate, go back to the drawing board, start over from scratch next year, and make some noise. Maybe by the second half of next year he's in line for a world title, or early 2026. But I think he needs to plan it out and really make a serious move towards the heavyweight, you know, towards the, not the heavyweight, towards the, you know, towards boxing, and then see what comes out on the other end. But that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on the former 2-division world champion Luis Nery, following his 6th round knockout loss to Naoya Inoue, as he challenged Inoue for the Undisputed Super Bantamweight Championship of the world at 122 pounds. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.